Alright, hello everyone and welcome back to my Fallout 4 Mod Spotlight series, where today we are having a look at yet another wonderful mod, this time in the form of the TARDIS, which is being made by user Shattered Steel. And what this glorious little piece of work looks to add into the game is that beautiful blue police box from the Doctor Who franchise, and I am just so excited to have this in my game, as of course I am a Whovian myself and love anything Doctor Who related. And of course you all may know at this point after watching a lot of these videos, I love my mods to be lore friendly, and this TARDIS mod of course is lore friendly, as in the original Fallout game there was a TARDIS Easter egg, so you know what? It fits in the world. Doctor Who apparently exists within the Fallout universe, and that makes me smile. And finally, I'm quite happy that it is Shattered Steel that is making this TARDIS mod, considering he is also the maker of the Skyrim TARDIS mod, so that we know that we're in good hands. The TARDIS mod for Skyrim was very cool, very well made, and so I can't wait to see how this particular TARDIS mod does move forward in the future, as right now it is in its first release, so it is still very early development, and a lot of features that you may have had in the Skyrim TARDIS mod, if you've played with that, a lot of those things aren't quite yet in this particular TARDIS, so bear that in mind. But how you get your hands on this beautiful TARDIS police box is, well, when you load this in, you will be given the blue box mission, which is going to send you into the glowing sea, and specifically to the Forgotten Church right over here. If we zoom out to give you a bit more relation as to where it is, the Forgotten Church is where we want to be here, and you'll just have to deal with the radiation and the death claws. But once here, you simply need to, you know, jump down into the Forgotten Church, and you actually already probably see the TARDIS below me there, but what we're going to do first, before we look at the TARDIS, is go to this table where we have the TARDIS key, and once we have that, now we can look at the box, now that we have completed the blue box mission, and there we are, our TARDIS. A TARDIS of our very own, and oh, it makes me so happy. This thing is beautifully modeled, absolutely amazingly textured. If we get all the way to the plaque here, everything is perfectly readable. Very, very well done. You got good wood grain to it and everything. It just makes me happy. I mean, it is clipping slightly into the wood beams there of the Forgotten Church, but you know what? I can live with that. That's just a temporary parked location. That is something easily fixed by, of course, moving the TARDIS to another location. As it is a functioning TARDIS, it can move through space. Unfortunately, it can't move through time, because, well, Fallout 4 video game, but we can at least have this thing move around the Commonwealth to any settlement in the game, which is quite handy to have. So let's actually go inside the TARDIS now and view the interior, which is a bit sparse at the moment. All we do have is the control room. That is all. Now there is a door right here, but at the moment that goes absolutely nowhere. Hopefully we'll see some more bits and bobs of the TARDIS added in to the future releases of this, as I would love to be able to have like my own bedroom in here, maybe a lab or something like that. I think it would be quite cool. But for now, all we have is the main center console of the TARDIS with a button and a TARDIS terminal, and that is basically it. And well, besides the actual control room itself, but overall, it all just makes me happy. But let's actually take a look at the TARDIS terminal and see what all we've got. Now we have a basic UI up here at the top for information. The first, of course, showing our current location, which is pretty generic, as it's always just the Commonwealth, unless you're at a specific settlement. We have the known locations, which is quite interesting because, of course, we know technically where everything is, as the navigation databanks, which we'll look at momentarily, has every settlement in the game listed, but it won't count as being known until you travel to it. but that really makes no difference right now because you can still just go ahead and travel to it. And then the last bit is the targeted location. So if you do go into the navigation databank and select a specific settlement to fly to, it'll show that right here, which is always handy to see. But before we get to that, let's actually take a look at the settings, where we have a few things. As you can see here, the exterior shell is the Smith Capaldi police box, and the desktop theme is default. So I'm assuming in the future we may be able to come in here to change what our control room looks like. That would be quite cool. We can, of course, uninstall the mod here. We also have a very, very useful tool of Activate Locator Beacon, which adds a miscellaneous quest item to our quest log so that we can find the TARDIS at a future date. So if I actually tab out of there and into my Pip-Boy, you have down here miscellaneous right there, the TARDIS locator beacon, so we can actually use it to find our way if, you know, you forgot where you parked. It's always kind of convenient to have. But there we are, back into the terminal and into settings, and I'll just go ahead and turn that back off as we don't need the locator for the time being. And the last option we have in here for settings is to add a perk to lean on the TARDIS. This is weird. It's very weird. Once you have this, if we do add it to ourselves, we can now, when we go outside and point ourselves at the door, we can hit R and we'll lean on the TARDIS. That is entirely what this is. Yes, strike a pose and lean against the TARDIS. I really don't see the point of it, and yet I love it. When I first saw this thing in here, I immediately went outside and just started striking up a pose, and it was wonderful. So there we go, we can lean on the TARDIS. Now if we go back out, we have the navigation databanks, which is how you do get around the Commonwealth. Now we have two options in here: settlements, which will list every settlement in the game. If we go into here, everything from Abernathy Farms to Sanctuary all the way down to Warwick Homestead, you got your options as to where you want to go. Even if you haven't discovered them yet, you'll still be able to go to them with the TARDIS at the moment. That may change in the future, we'll see, but for now, even if you haven't discovered it, you'll be able to go there. And the other option we have is completely useless and not yet implemented, and it just says alphabetical. I was originally thinking, oh yeah, cool, maybe we can sort the settlements, but then I went back in here and the settlements already are sorted out alphabetically. So I don't really know what that's going to be eventually, but yeah, if we click it, error not implemented. There we are. Now if we head back out, the last thing is the index file, which, well, not the last thing, but the second to last thing is the index file, which if we click, is also not implemented. It just goes right back into the information system here, so nothing for that. But what we do have is play tape. Now you'll notice down here, we can eject a holotape, which is the TARDIS holotape, and this is very useful. Now we'll just go ahead and play it on this terminal, because we can, and what this holotape does is, the idea is you put it into your Pip-Boy, or into your inventory rather, and then you can play it on the Pip-Boy and summon your TARDIS no matter where you are in the world. And that's cool. That's fun. That's wonderful. It makes life a lot easier if you are on the other side of the planet and you forgot where you parked the TARDIS, you didn't turn on the miscellaneous item to track it on the map. So you know what? What the heck? You'll just summon the thing. I love it. Now, of course, we're inside the TARDIS at the moment, so that probably wouldn't be the best thing to do, but we can, of course, put that into our inventory and just deal with it later. So let's actually eject that. So that is now with us, and let's actually travel somewhere. Let's go to the navigation databank, and then we'll go back to Sanctuary, where, of course, we normally do our mod videos, and just... there it is. Excellent. So we select Sanctuary Hills. Excellent. Lovely. And yeah, we should travel there. Now the thing is, of course, though, once we exit this, we have to make it go. We have to make it go. So now that Sanctuary Hills is in the navigation database, we push the button. There we are. You may have heard it. It's kind of faint and hard to hear, but you will hear the door over there lock. And then, of course, we get the lovely sounds of the TARDIS. And if we actually look back at the terminal, we're now at Sanctuary Hills, and we now know about one location. So if we go outside, we should be in Sanctuary Hills. Now, of course, since we traveled all the way across the map, this loading screen's going to be kind of long, so I'm actually going to cut it down in editing. Alright, and we are now in Sanctuary Hills on a beautiful, clear night. And there we go, we have the TARDIS. Now this is where it parks here in Sanctuary Hills, and well, that's perfectly fine. We are in the back of the buildings, and yes, nice and private location for our beautiful police box. Ooh, and I should show off the leaning. Let's go out to third person just so it's a little bit less jarring, but you can notice now on the TARDIS options I have enter or lean. Let's lean. And there we are, we're now leaning, so I can move the camera eventually. There we go. We're leaning on the TARDIS. Isn't it wonderful? That's literally all it does. Well, not entirely. If we move to unlean and go to the side is usually how I get it to do it, and now hit lean. Oh, no, darn it, it went to the front again. There is also a way to lean on the side of the TARDIS, but no, it went back to the front. Okay, let's try it one more time from the side, and let's see if it works. Okay, come on, oh, almost, and lean. Oh, it did it, there we go, we're leaning on the side of the TARDIS. Look at that, we're all cooled and whatnot. Again, it's completely useless, but I have this odd fascination with it, and it makes me smile. So there we are. We are outside in Sanctuary Hills after traveling here in the TARDIS, and we can lean on it. But let's actually head back into the TARDIS and show off one other thing. Now, of course, that function of selecting where you want to go in the navigational databank and then hitting the button is one way to travel. But what if you just want to go someplace at random and you really don't care where it is? Well, we can just hit the button. And now, the TARDIS will fly us somewhere randomly on the settlement list. So if we look at the terminal, we are still at Sanctuary Hills. See, it's random, and so that can't happen. Let's do that again. And now, there we go, we're at Bunker Hill. Just my luck that the first time I go to do the random one, it goes right back to Sanctuary Hill. But if we actually leave now, we will be at Bunker Hill, and that is just wonderful. So yeah, if you don't care where you're going specifically, you can always fly at random. Alright, and here we are at Bunker Hill after a very long loading screen, which of course I did cut out in editing. And yes, this is where the TARDIS will park itself here, so let's try one more thing. We of course do have, if we go to our miscellaneous tab, we should have the TARDIS holotape. Let's actually make sure that I did indeed grab it. I'm pretty sure I ejected it. You all saw me, hopefully. Yes, there it is, the TARDIS holotape. And let's quickly travel somewhere else and summon it to us. So why don't we go... You know what the heck, let's go to 10 Pines. Yeah, we'll go over to 10 Pines Bluff, that's far away. And we'll summon the TARDIS to our location. And to show off that, of course, lovely, lovely function on the TARDIS holotape. Alright, now here at 10 Pines, if we would have traveled here in the TARDIS, it actually normally parks it right around here. So I'm actually intrigued to see what's going to happen, because I've only summoned it outside before in like other weird places. So let's go over here and see if it summons it right in front of us. I'm not 100% sure how this will go, so let's give it a try and go back to our TARDIS holotape. Lovely. Pop that right into the Pip-Boy. And summon. And we should just have to close. Oh, I hear the sound. Where did it go? Okay. Oh, dear God. Alright, so there it is. It's summoned literally right on our location and is a bit wonky. It seems the TARDIS without me as the pilot didn't go so well. So yes, this can summon itself to any location that you're at, not just at settlements, which is quite convenient. And yeah, it'll just be a little bit wonky when it does come in from its flight. But I can deal with that. But that is the TARDIS mod. That's really all I can show you guys about it. It's just a beautiful, wonderful mod that adds in... Ooh boy, someone's having a fight over there. But that adds into the game that beautiful blue police box for you to enjoy, and I just can't wait to see when it is more fully developed. I would love to see the interior fleshed out more. The ability to travel more places in the Commonwealth would be quite fun rather than just settlements. So let's hope that those things come in the future, but for the time being, it's a fun toy to have around. And yeah, it's a TARDIS. How can you not want a TARDIS? So if you would like to have this mod for yourself, you can take a look at the link in the description as always. And I would definitely say to go and give it a try because, again, it's a freaking TARDIS. So go download it, have fun, go all wibbly wobbly timey wimey, and I hope, of course, you have enjoyed this episode today and that you do come back for the next. But until that time, thank you for watching. And as always, have a good one. Now time to travel somewhere else at random. Later, folks.